Hello everyone, I'm Shelley
And I'm Lisa.
and we are your nutritionists online.
So this is our podcast where we discuss all things nutrition and well-being with an emphasis on gut health because, of course, everything starts from the gut.
So grab yourself a green tea, go and sit on the couch and chill and listen to us.
I think that's a great intro, Shelley.
Thank
I love
you.
that. I think I'm
And
very
you.
proud of that. Thank you. We did it. This is like the 10th take, but we're doing it. Okay, so we thought we would start, didn't we? We thought we'd start with a little health tip. You know, just every episode we'll just cover a different aspect of well-being and give you guys a tip. So Shelley, what was your tip?
So my tip of the day is, have you been out and either exercised, gone for a walk, just get out in the fresh air and just movement really.
Yeah.
The importance of movement.
Yeah, definitely.
You
Well,
know,
we're human beings, aren't we? And we're meant to move. Our bodies are meant to move. We're not meant to be sitting at a computer all day. We're not meant to be sitting in our cars or on the sofa watching TV. Our bodies are made to move, and actually, the more we move, the better we feel.
Absolutely, the better we feel. And even like today, it's beautiful, it's sunny, get out, you can get some vitamin D, and it's good for your mental health.
So good.
And just, just the well-being. So that's the tip for today.
But I have to say that even if it's pouring with rain and freezing cold, which it often is in London, and I always think, oh God, I really don't want to go out, I can't bother to go out. But actually, once I shut the front door and I'm like 10 paces down the road, I already feel so much better.
Because it's the air.
Yeah.
The fresh air does make you feel better.
And you can put a podcast on.
Yeah.
Listen to us on your walk.
Yeah, absolutely.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And listen to other like well-being podcasts. Or listen to the radio, put some music on. But it's just that time out, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
You know, or sometimes also we go walking together, don't we?
Yeah.
So instead of sitting down to talk about work stuff and what we're going to talk about, sitting at a desk,
you can just go for a walk,
walk the dogs,
grab your tea, your coffee, take your dogs and go for a walk. Yeah. Or just walk to the shops when you don't need to get in the car if you live that near.
It does. It's just a really great thing to do, and it's really important because as we get older as well, you know, you're not really going to be pounding it in the gym in your like 80s, are you?
No.
But if you can walk and if you can develop that love of walking, that's going to see you through, and it's just going to help with functionality, isn't it? You know, as we get older, we want to be able to walk up the stairs, get up and down off the sofa, and all those things. And walking just really helps with that.
Absolutely, it helps your muscles, your joints, especially if you're suffering from joint pain. Actually, sometimes it is better to move. People think it isn't, but it actually tends to help, doesn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
The more movement that you do, the better it is.
And what do you think about the 10,000 steps a day? Do you follow that?
I do follow that. Do you follow that?
Well, sometimes I've got to say I do love a bit of a cliche, and I think it is one of those kind of like cliche lines, like 5 a day, 10,000 steps a day. Do you count your steps? Do you monitor them?
I do wear a Fitbit.
Oh, do you?
Or an Apple Watch. So I do, but I'm not like obsessive over the 10,000. If it was like 8,000, I wouldn't really mind if it was more. But
I only like looking at the day I've gone walking. Like the other day I went with my daughter to Westfield. We went shopping. And I thought, okay, I must have done my steps today. So then I did check.
And it was 19,000 if you went shopping.
I don't think quite as many as that, but it was pretty good.
Okay.
That was quite good. Whereas if it's a day that I haven't really maybe been as active as I should have been, then I don't look. But I think it does. Where that comes from, I think, is that concept of NEAT. Do you remember? About NEAT. So it's non-exercise activity thermogenesis. Go back to college.
I know. So it's bringing it all back. But it is. It's true. You know, the more you're moving, even if it's just scratching your nose, because that's what it is, or just picking up the phone or walking around, it's all of
Don't just count the time that you're doing sort of official exercise. Look at the time
everything.
you're moving around.
It's all of it. It's all moving. All moving helps you burn calories, and
keeps your thyroid and your metabolism going. Blood sugar balance.
Absolutely.
All there.
Definitely. So that's our tip for today. All about movement.
Brilliant.
Okay. So now we can talk a little bit about the gut.
Yeah. So what we're going to talk about today, shall we?
Should we just talk about general IBS?
Yeah, I think that's a good one because I think that actually everybody likes to say, "Oh, I've got IBS."
Whether you suffer from chronic diarrhea or chronic constipation or a mixture of both, it all classifies under the IBS.
Umbrella.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's why, because it stands for irritable bowel syndrome, and it's syndrome because it's a collection of symptoms that you may be suffering, and it just like really the doctor can't find another reason for it, so they just say, oh well, it's IBS.
Yeah, and then they don't really give you anything. can be bloating, it can be flatulence, it can just be abdominal pain, like we said, cramping, diarrhea, constipation. It's an umbrella of just different symptoms, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's just finding that way of managing it on a daily basis.
Yeah, I think it's understanding what your trigger is, isn't it? I mean, like, a lot of the whole like gut-brain axis is really involved, isn't it, in IBS?
Oh, massively. So, like, if you're really highly stressed, that affects your digestive system, because then it affects you absorbing and digesting. Because if you're so stressed that you're constricting, because your muscles and everything constrict, you're not digesting properly. So that has a massive effect.
Yeah, and I think that's where all those old cliches again. We're back on cliches again. Cliches is a theme. But it's like when you say I felt sick to my stomach, or I have butterflies in my tummy, or my stomach was churning.
Yeah, or I was so stressed I didn't stop going to the toilet.
Yeah. It's all that sort of gut-brain connection, isn't it? It's all about the brain and gut talking. Yeah. And they used to think that the messaging went from the brain to the gut, and that all the time the brain was talking to the gut, and hence why you get the saying, I felt sick to my stomach. But actually, the scientists have now found that the conversation goes, the microbiome talking to the brain. So actually, the conversation is two-way, gut to brain and brain to gut, but the gut to brain is actually where most of the traffic's going. So
it is. It's all from the microbiome, and that's really why it's so important in terms of probiotics, prebiotics, making sure you're consuming a lot of minerals and vitamins that your body needs, because that then helps the regulation of hormones from your gut to your brain.
Definitely. Well, you are what you eat.
You are what you eat.
Yeah, another cliche.
It is.
There we go.
We're full of them today. We are full of them today. But like you said, going back to knowing your triggers.
Yes.
So, I mean, I'm sure like you in clinic, you see so many clients come in with
definitely
they kind of know their triggers, but they then still eat it.
And I find that really funny. They say, dairy's no good for me, and then I'll say, what did you eat yesterday? And they'll say, I had a pizza or cheese, and then I had a smoothie which I made with milk, and I'm just thinking.
And they don't really still get the connection.
It's really weird, isn't it?
It's so weird. So I mean, dairy, especially with IBS, can be a real trigger.
Dairy is definitely one of the big ones, isn't it? But I think gluten can still be a big one as well.
Gluten.
Because I think it just causes so much inflammation in the gut. That's where the gluten trigger can come from.
That's where, like the leaky gut, isn't it? So like all the pathogens and everything are going through.
And then that triggers all these symptoms as well.
Inflammation. That's what it is.
And then of course stress, like we said. So stress can be a massive trigger for IBS.
Massive,
But then when you say to someone, just don't be so stressed.
It's very difficult to do. But that's like, when, in clinic we do about lifestyle, so deep breathing and finding that way to calm your nervous system down, whether it's deep breathing, box breathing, Epsom salts,
getting out and walking.
Getting out and walking.
That's really good for IBS as well.
Really good, because that really helps. If you're moving, you're not as constricted, and your food can then digest properly, and then you're absorbing. So
But I think also a big thing, whether it's constipation or diarrhea, is making sure you're drinking enough water. I mean, clearly we know that constipation, dehydration is a massive driver for constipation.
Massive driver.
If you're not going as regularly as you should be, definitely 100% consider your water intake and are you drinking enough water. But it's also important to drink water if you've got diarrhea as well, because obviously you're losing the fluid too quickly. So either way, you want to be making sure you're getting enough water. Maybe put some electrolytes in the water, especially if you've got diarrhea. That's going to help, isn't it? So like a Himalayan salt or something in the water, just a little pinch.
Tiny little pinch. That is really good. That is really good. And as well with fibre, making sure you have adequate amount of fibre. And no one does, do they?
No.
The recommended daily allowance now is about 30 grams, and I don't think anybody really gets anywhere near that, or even monitors their fibre intake. Really.
No, so it's hard to get enough fibre, isn't it? Because also I think people think of fibre as being the like the whole grains and things like that, and then they think, but I'm not eating carbs, I can't eat carbs. So they're actually cutting out the fibre, aren't they?
And even some of the vegetables where they say, oh, you know, carrots are quite carby, and you're like, but
they're so good for your gut.
Good for you, or broccoli or cauliflower, but they're really, really good, especially for detoxifying. But you need the fibre for constipation and for diarrhea.
Yeah, because it forms the right poo.
It forms the right poo, bulking out the stool if you've got diarrhea, and even with constipation, helping it move down the tract. So you do, you do need fibre as well.
And that's really what like prebiotic is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Prebiotic is basically fibre.
Yeah.
So that's what the prebiotic. So when we talk about prebiotics and probiotics, the prebiotic is basically what's feeding.
Is the fibre.
The fibre.
It is exactly. So, is what's feeding.
Yeah, you definitely want to be thinking about water and fibre. You know, and trying to relieve stress where you can, and getting out and moving when you can. Those are like 4 really, really simple things that everybody can do. Whatever kind of IBS you've got, that's going to help. It's like very simple first steps that you can take. Yeah,
that is probably the first few steps that you can do to alleviate any kind of symptoms from IBS. That is just easy to manage, really.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we could talk all day.
We could.
About IBS.
We could. We have a lot to talk about.
We do, and I think we will definitely have to revisit IBS quite a few times, I think, over the course of the podcast, because I think there's so many different things that we could be talking about. We can go into prebiotics in so much more detail,
and
probiotics.
And sometimes a lot of people take probiotics as well, whereas they may not need the probiotic, especially if they've got a certain kind of IBS that maybe we'll go into in more detail on a different day.
Yeah, definitely. So that's all stuff that we'll be looking at in future episodes.
Okay.
So that's brilliant. So I hope that you have found this helpful and interesting. Please do put any comments. You know, if you're watching this on video, then you're watching on Instagram. So please comment on our Instagram. We'd love to hear your thoughts, don't we? We'd love to hear what you think about it. And if you're listening on the podcast, then
on Apple, go ahead and click and follow us.
Yeah, definitely. We want followers. And again, share. Yeah. Give us a rating. Give us 5 stars, obviously.
Please.
And if there's any topics that are particularly of interest to you that you want us to cover in a future episode, then feel free to get in touch and let us know. You know, we really do want to hear from you guys. We want this to be your podcast as much as it's our podcast, and we want you guys to really benefit from it. And it's, you know, although we're trying to keep it all very light and fun, it's also, you know, we are trying to give you guys really helpful information. It's going to make a real difference.
Absolutely. So if there is anything you want for us to discuss and you want any, you know, answers, then definitely comment, and we will put it in our next podcast.
Yeah. Okay. So we will see you soon.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.